Monday Minutes with the Murrays. Bob's currently in Ottawa and he's going to feed us his nuggets, and I'll add my 2 cents here and there. So let's get started.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about mindset. And I wanted to start with Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck is pretty much one of the experts in the area of mindset and positivity and how it all kind of blends together. And she has an understanding of 2 mindsets, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So the growth mindset thrives on challenge. It sees it as opportunity. Failure isn't not being intelligent or smart or unsuccessful. It creates opportunity to be able to learn and grow. So that's the growth mindset. And a fixed mindset is assumes that we just can't handle anything creatively. We're static in how we are, and nothing can really change in any certain type of meaningful way. So that's the kind of what I wanted to frame these next 3 understandings of how to change our mindset for you folks today, and with just leading with the starting of understanding the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And today we're really going to talk about the growth mindset mentality and how we can improve that with ourselves. Okay, so like I said, 3 areas to maybe look at in our own personal lives, business lives, family lives, whatever it is, how we are as individuals to be able to improve our mindset, our growth mindset. So the first one is be grateful and stay positive. I remember being a younger person who had a pretty tough upbringing, rough background, and I used to see all these positive people, and I would just get so aggravated with them. Like, how can these people be so positive? Because I just had so much negativity in my life, and I let it control my mindset and who I was, and it actually just at certain points was just dominating my days, and days became weeks, and weeks became months, and then you look back and go, wow, like it was such an unsuccessful year, just a horrible year. And I just had such a negative mindset. And so I would see all these people around with this positive, they're always positive, always seems to be smiling, everything's great, everything's rosy. And it would just drive me crazy. It would drive me absolutely nuts. But then I realized, they actually had it right. They're the people who looked at that we should be grateful, that we should have a positive understanding of what's in our lives, the people that are in our lives, the opportunities, the experiences that we have. And they were looking at it from the right mindset. I was looking at it from that fixed, nothing can be better, nothing can be great. I am what I am. This is who I am. I was brought into this world this way. I'm going to remain this way. And instead, I started to shift that mindset and look at it positively. And the things that are around me and the experiences that I had and we're continuing to have were an opportunity for me to grow as a person. So that first tip is to just understand how we can be grateful in every day. And that's very easy, just to look at the positive things that happen in your day, and let those be the things that control how you interact with people and how you move through your day.
What is gratitude even? Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, ready to show appreciation for, and to receive kindness. And so I grabbed some little examples on how you can practice gratitude daily to improve that. And so one is to have a gratitude journal. One is to smile. Smiles are free, so give them away. Inspiring others, serving, volunteering, quality time with your kids or your spouse, complimenting people. This is a tricky one for me because I get really awkward when somebody compliments me, so I avoid it thinking that I'll make them awkward, which I think I'm just the only weird one out there. So I'm working on that. Write someone a message, reward effort, say thank you. I'm working on that too. Just saying thank you to my kids, my husband for just doing the regular chores in the house that's expected to be done. But, thank you goes a long way, especially when my husband is so proud of, doing all the dishes and cleaning the counter and sink. And he says, Chris, did you see what I did here? And I'm thinking, yeah, I do it every day, but thank you.
The second area to look at as far as having a growth mindset or a good mindset is the people that you're around and the crowd that you belong to, for lack of a better term. We've all heard it before. My grandfather used to say it to me all the time. You are the company you keep, right? And so we're always around people and who they are and influences us. We may not state that it does, but it does. So I challenge you to think about this. You know, you're at home, the phone rings, you pick up the phone, and it's one of those people in your life that's just not a very positive person. They always have problems. They're always coming to you and talking about their problems. And so when you start to listen to that conversation, think about how you are when the conversation is done, right? You're down, you're defeated, you just don't feel positive anymore. And you could have been having a great day, but that conversation moved you into that type of mentality. And so part of it that we struggle with is that, you know, we have these people around us and they don't help us, right? And it could be vice versa, right? The phone call could be a great conversation about something really super positive that's happened in somebody's life, and you're just so excited, like it just motivates you to continue to do stuff. So you got to think about who is around you, who do you surround yourself with, who are the people that are bringing your life up in your circle of people, who believe in you, who want to see you succeed, you know, and give them the audience. These other people that don't want to see you succeed, these other people that don't want you to be don't want to be a part of what you're doing and helping you to be able to grow as a person, continue to bring you down. They're always bringing the negative comments, challenging you on things, even though that there's really no backing to that challenge. They just feel like they need to. And they cover that with, oh, I'm just looking out for you, right? We've all heard that, right? I'm just concerned. I'm looking out for you, and that's how they mask what they're trying to do. But in reality, they're bringing you down, and these are the people we need to look at of not being a part of what we want in our growth mindset. So let's look at ways to be able to find people around us that are going to give us positive influence. I've got a quote here from the late Jim Rohn. Really great if you can hear any podcasts or any videos of interviews with him or any of his speaking engagements. A great guy. And he said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with. Think about that for a second. Okay? That's part of that second challenge. And finally, the one I wanted to chat with you guys about was to develop good habits. Stephen Covey wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. It's a huge book, big book, made a lot of money. A lot of people reference it, read it. And the comment that comes out of it is, we are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do. And so if we continue to do this over and over again, and we set good habits, that's going to allow us to have a positive mindset, a growth mindset going forward, right? So think about some of the habits that you could change here, as we talked about last week. This new year, going to go after it. We're going to be called to action, and we're going to do it. What are some of those habits that we can form that might be able to help us have that better mindset? So here are a few things that I just kind of jotted down to think about as you're going about this. Something simple as, when do you go to bed and when do you wake up? All kinds of studies, everything else about sleep and how it just helps with your body, with your mind, being able to have the best opportunity at the next day. So sleep, how is your sleep habits? What are those like? Healthy eating habits, right? Again, lots of studies out there, and so many of us skip meals, do whatever we do, but then we shouldn't be surprised when we run out of energy at a certain point in the day. So let's look at our healthy eating habits. Are we eating? Are we snacking? Are we doing the right things throughout the day to be able to keep that energy level up that we want? Are you a journal taker or a note taker? Are you one of those type of people that you can go back and look at the different parts of your day that you did, or parts of your week, and be able to expand on those later, or remember them and use them at other times throughout the month? What about mapping out your day, maybe even the night before or a couple days before, and you map out your day? The challenge with that one is sometimes people will go, well, I map out my day, and then if I don't get it all done, I'm unsuccessful. Well, no, it just moves those things to the next part of your day, but it helps you also prioritize what's important to you inside of that day or inside of that week that you want to do. So maybe you can map it out. Drives my wife nuts. I actually lay out my clothes for the next day every night that I want to wear. And I don't know, maybe it's anal, maybe it's crazy, but it helps me to be able to say I'm focused on what I'm going to do that next day. And then finally, do you have a mentor? Do you have that type of relationship? We talked about an accountability person last week. We talked about mentor this week. Do you have a mentor? How often are you talking to them? Are you engaged in conversations with them? To be able to grow that relationship and in turn have a good mindset for yourself. So those are some of the 3 areas that we wanted to chat with you guys about today. I turn it back over to Chris and she can kind of finish off the video. See you next week.
Since we've been talking about having a growth mindset, I'm going to read a story from the book Powerful Attitudes for a Successful Life by Wayne Cordeiro. So I'm going to just read a story here that talks about the importance of growth. I remember reading about Jigoro Kano, the founder of the martial art of judo. Kano's story is a lesson of inspiration and motivation for every student of life. Kano possessed an extraordinary willingness to learn. He sought out the nearly defunct martial art of Jujutsu and modified it to incorporate modern sports principles, creating the art of judo. It became the defense system of the Japanese police and was the first Eastern martial art to be accepted in the international competition at the Olympics. Kano was so focused on learning improved techniques in all walks of life that he found new and better ways for the island nation of Japan to educate its youth. He became known as the father of modern Japanese education. Kano was well respected in athletic, social, and political circles worldwide. Thank you, Winnie. Just before he died, this world-renowned martial arts expert called the students together. As they congregated to hear what the final words of their judo master was, he announced, "When you bury me, do not bury me in a black belt. Be sure to bury me in a white belt." In martial arts, the white belt is the symbol of a beginner, an apprentice who has many things yet to learn. What a lesson in humility and teachability. Each of us, regardless of our ranking in life, must become a lifelong learner. Whether you're a CEO, a pastor, a secretary, a parent, a child, a leader, or a follower, a market partner with Monat, under all of your roles, always wear a white belt. Even if you are an expert in your field, continue to value learning. By continuing to learn, you will continue to be an expert. As soon as we stop learning, we will begin to stiffen and atrophy. As soon as we stop learning, we will begin to stiffen and atrophy. I just had to look up atrophy and it means waste away.